Hi, I'm Joyce.
Hi, I'm Daniel. As a black man
and a Chinese American woman,
we spent this summer discovering the tensions between our racial communities.
Our journey began when we first met Miss Soyan during Urban Plunge, an InterVarsity spring break service program. She worked to dialogue with Asian American shop owners in the black community. Daniel and I both came in with very naive preconceptions, thinking there was no tension between Asian American shop owners and the black community.
During the spring break service program, we developed the conviction that God loves justice, and justice means right relationship between the black and Asian communities. Jeremiah 29:7 describes what we believe our role is in this endeavor. It reads, "Seek the welfare of the city where I have sent you into exile, and pray to the Lord on its behalf, for in its welfare you will find your welfare."
So during our time at Bridge, we've met a lot of different people, but the person who we have learned the most from was Miss Teresa. Miss Teresa is a Korean American woman who owns King's Cafe in Anacostia. When we first met Miss Teresa, it was during Urban Plunge, and I can definitely say for me, right off the bat, something that really, I wouldn't say shocked, but was super eye-opening was the way that Miss Teresa interacted with her customers. She would call them baby and sweetie, and they addressed her as mama, and it was just super refreshing to see the close-knit connection that she had with them. Okay, so I noticed that you called Miss Teresa mama, so can you describe like what are the things that she did that made you feel so comfortable?
She just look out for people, you know what I'm saying? When she get a chance, and if she know you should shit, she'll help you out, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what made me start to call moms and pops.
Yeah. So when we talked to Miss Teresa and her husband David, they talked about how they always had the resolve to be friendly to their customers and how they always wanted to smile and greet their customers. However, when we got to know Miss Teresa more over the summer, we realized that she did have to grow a lot to get to the place that she was, and that even though she knew in her head that she had to be nice and friendly to her customers, it took her a while to really get to that place to actually genuinely have care for her customers. Miss Teresa is an example of relationship healing, but this is not the reality everywhere.
Tension still exists elsewhere between Asian American shop owners and their black customers.
So I'm basically going to be talking about my impressions of Sandtown, Baltimore. Honestly, I was really shocked. I thought I would be prepared to see Sandtown and what it would be like after going to Urban Plunge, which was with InterVarsity over spring break, where we lived in Anacostia, and I had always heard that Anacostia was like a pretty bad neighborhood, but after going there I was like, what? Like the people there, they're so awesome, like they're so nice, like the neighborhood is really great, and yeah, so when I went to Sandtown, I was kind of expecting a similar thing, but it definitely was a lot different than Anacostia. The whole area, I guess, just didn't feel as community-like, as home-like, because of different things that I saw. One of the things that I saw, there were just a lot of liquor stores, and it really did seem like a food desert, even more so than Anacostia. There were about like 3 liquor stores around one corner, and then we had to drive around a bit to see like a tiny little grocery store owned by Miss Grace, and it definitely was just kind of like, out of the way, and yeah, just seeing that kind of put things into perspective. And then another thing that really stood out to me was this carryout thing. On the sign it said Brown's Carryout, so I was really excited to go inside and see, you know, like how their business was going. And then when I walked in, I was really surprised to see that it wasn't a carryout, but it was more just like a gas station. But then in between the cashier and the payer's customer, there was like this plastic panel, and and then turntables, and there was like literally no human interaction. That was basically all the things that I had for Sandtown and like my first impressions of it. I honestly saw a lot of like beauty in the town, or in this town community. I saw a lot of beauty in the community though. You know, there were people selling like ices, and there were kids at the pool, and there was this really nice like homeless shelter, and all these things that really showed the potential of the neighborhood, which really made me excited for them.
Driving around Baltimore City, this particular neighborhood, there weren't many shops, there wasn't much variety, and there were a lot of abandoned homes. But when I looked at the families and the children playing outside, when I looked at just who was there in the neighborhood and how they went about everyday life, it was hard to see where any change was needed. It was hard for me because it was my home. There were lessons that we learned from Miss Teresa that we wanted to bring to other shop owners, like one of our Asian American friends' parents in Baltimore. We hope to address the food desert in Sandtown, Baltimore by providing fresh produce, either through a local farmers market supplied by re-established community gardens, or a grocery truck to bring fresh produce around the neighborhood. Sandtown currently has a limited variety of food options, so we seek to provide business tips to startups and help excess liquor stores transition to grocery stores. We want to support businesses that are already there.